Hey Aquarius, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We have entered Virgo season. Last week was kind of quiet. Virgo season really gives us an opportunity to focus on our health, our well-being, our daily routine, the ways that we're implementing support and stability in our own lives in order to do and accomplish all the things we need to do, right? Virgo season does have a slower approach. It's earth energy. It allows us to balance after Leo season, which can get a little fiery and heated and all over the place. And we've had a lot of planets in retrograde, which have just kind of maximized some of those difficulties that we're moving through. This week is going to amp up a little bit more astrologically. We are growing in more earth energy as the week progresses, which I really like. But we're also going to see Uranus go into retrograde. So all the four outer planets are in retrograde. Saturn is going to move back into Pisces. Right now it's in Aries in retrograde and it's moving into Pisces. So it is going to highlight or heighten some of that emotional water energy that provoke, right? It provokes us in a way to challenge us to grow, evolve, move beyond our own limitations, right? And Saturn and Neptune in Aries in retrograde right now is really teaching us how to listen to ourselves. So it's all intertwined. It's just annoying because we do have to be on our toes. We have to be intentional, I think, with how we're approaching things in our life, especially if we are looking to connect with more change, more harmony, balance, abundance, etc., which Pluto moving into Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, is all about. So with that in mind, Aquarius, that's why I like to start off with these energy cleansings. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we're feeling blocked or limited. It's a really great time to set your own intention as well for the reading, especially if you have something on your heart, on your mind that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in more of a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, soul. I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. All those are tools just to kind of help keep us grounded in ourselves, especially when we are feeling disconnected or we're trying to achieve a goal. We really have to be grounded and present in ourselves in order to manifest happiness, abundance, fulfillment. And I would love to help support in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, Aquarius, with that, this is taking a little bit of time. Let's get into it. All right. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fear, doubt, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Aquarius, I hear you're making plans this week. I hear that you're getting excited about something and maybe a little lost in the fantasy. It almost feels like you've made peace with something that you want, something that you desire, something that you are trying to go after, or you're like finally ready to like quote unquote let into your world. Sorry, that came out so weird. And you know, you're getting excited about this thing is what it feels like. Like I said, a little lost in the fantasy because I kind of feel you getting distracted along the way, or maybe you feel like you have kind of just been in a distracted place, or things come in to kind of maybe distract you, right? Like sometimes we need a little bit more learning lesson with this education in your overarching energy. Sometimes we need to learn a little bit more before we're ready to receive whatever it is, right? And I feel like you're open to this learning. Like I feel like you're a little bit more positive this week than maybe what you have been in a while. You're seeing like how your approach, your perspective in things plays a huge role, right? This value of like attracts like. What we put our energy into, what we invest into, then it's going to be reciprocated back to us, right? If we're angry and pissed off and treating people like shit, I'm not saying you are, hypothetically, then we're going to get that back, right? But when we find a way to have balance, diplomacy, what I love about your energy, I love this, is you're very good at finding inventive, creative approaches to situations, problems, obstacles, etc. And you're not afraid to be a little unique and eccentric in your approach. Unfortunately, right now, we have a lot of tension aspecting Uranus with the Sun, Moon, and Mercury. Uranus governs Aquarian energy. So there's a little resistance, not only to the change, but also to like doing the work, right? Like we all kind of just want to keep things copacetic, not have to work too hard, which yes, I'm a huge proponent of like maximum efficiency, minimum effort, right? Like when we know how to plug in the right energy, the right places, etc., it actually allows us to have that balance of action and rest so that we're not feeling overwhelmed. You're in a way more balanced state. You're maintaining your balance. I feel like the peace and the calm is looking good on you this week. It does signal that a reunion is on the horizon. We'll look a little bit more and see who and what that is for you. So part of this, like whatever you are getting excited about, I feel like it is good. It feels overarching, like it's showing that, again, you've done a lot of good work, a lot of intentional work. You've made improvements, adjustments, especially as it relates to your relationships and how you show up in those dynamics. Slowing down has been good for you. I feel like it's actually allowing you to think and process through without like feeling like pressure, or that you have to make quick decisions, or that you're making decisions that really aren't resonating with you. So we have King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy in your environment this week. You're coming in as the King of Pentacles. I love this. This is really signifying this peace and calm that you are exuding. Whether or not you're like male or female is irrelevant. This is all about the energy. And the King of Pentacles is really good at just embodying this sense of like stability. I have my shit together. You know, I'm operating out of this way that like, you know, I'm taking into account all the practical things that make sense in order to make a decision, right? But he still has heart. He still has feeling. He's not as cold as the King of Swords. The King of Wands, however, does like to be in control. And it does look like you're dealing with someone or something who's maybe matching your energy a little bit. I don't know if this is good or bad. Let's clarify a little bit into this person's situation a little bit more. Okay, so you have someone who's matching your energy. You have someone who feels like home, feels like there's some level of commitment that you're willing to bring to this person, to this individual. You might already be related. The Hierophant often signifies family or just people that were committed to on some level, whether it is just like a friend or a business partnership or something along those lines, right? This is someone that we're giving our, it might not always make sense, right? The relationship, the dynamic. Well, I don't even know why I said that. Sorry, that was such a weird thing to say. Maybe it doesn't always make sense. Maybe it is about giving a hall pass to someone something because their energy might be a little bit off-putting for you. That's what I'm picking up, right? But going back to this mirroring effect, what you're seeing, what you're realizing is maybe the way we work in relationships needs to be tweaked. Because yeah, maybe this person does have some qualities, character traits that you don't like, but they're also offering something that's free of toxicity is what I'm hearing. In a way that like you're walking away from things that like really are not what you want to resonate with, where you don't want to take your energy. There is part of this I think that you've been a little bit resistant to. So especially if this has a past energy around it, we've been seeing this pop up a lot lately in the collective, in the readings. We're seeing more momentum this week. As I said, we're building up to a full moon. We have Uranus going into retrograde. Saturn's moving into, there's our King of Swords. Okay, so we have 3 kings out on the board, and they're ending with justice energy. There's something for you that I feel like is hard to wrap your mind around, because I feel like at the end of the day, you're feeling really hesitant about something. Maybe a little bit of pushback. Maybe a little bit of pushback from this King of Wands energy. Maybe they have different plans in mind about what something looks like. And they're resistant. They're resistant to something that like you can't get on board with, right? Because you're looking at this, whatever this situation is, whatever this King of Wands is trying to control. Like I said, it might not, I don't know. It does have this element of them trying to work with you, but presently. But as things move forward, you're in such a calm state that I feel like you can almost see it from a different vantage point. And your intuition is picking up on something, like maybe there is a little bit of lack of loyalty, or it's not necessarily, I don't know. It's bringing about something that's reminding you or reigniting the past, if that makes sense. And perhaps this King of Wands is getting in the middle of that. They're kind of taking this approach where they really don't want to do something. And as much as they're being forced to do it, whether or not they're going to be able to is a completely different story. And honestly, you're seeing that. Perhaps put a little bit too much faith, too much hope in someone. And to the point that, like I said, like they might have been resistant to that. You might have been, like, what do I mean by that? They might have been resisting like your efforts to kind of find balance and harmony, because this person isn't on the same page. Knight of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands is them forcing their own agenda, right? Like, I'm not as interested to do it in your way. I will give you options of how you can handle this. But at the end of the day, you're just not in that space. And that's where the disconnect comes into play, because you're a lot more calmer, put together, grounded, and you don't really want to go down that road. And you are, I am celebrating me. I know that it is important to celebrate each win, no matter how big or small. And I feel like some of the stuff, Aquarius, that you have overcome, the mirroring effect. Here's the thing. I think that all in all, it really is that overarching energy of this was a learning lesson. This was a growth opportunity. And not to be patronizing, I don't mean it in that way. But I think that what you have walked through has made it way easier to be smarter, more aware moving forward. I am ready to receive. And I feel like this is you ready to receive something good, something that is in alignment with you, right? Something that does kind of promote this level of peace and calm. And it looks like circumstances are setting up in the right way in order to be that. Is it coming from this King of Wands? It doesn't look like it. Maybe that's just kind of like who and what you're dealing with right now. But this says, I know that I can manifest all my heart desires. So we have to remember that, right? King of Wands is giving you options, but they might not be options that you're vibing with. Or I would also encourage you to make sure that you really kind of understand what the inner workings of what they're offering, because it feels like even if it does sound good, even if it does vibe with you, it might have a little bit of shady energy around it. So just make sure to ask questions, clarify. It does look like they have their own agenda in place. They're used to you playing small, and now you're in a space of I'm taking up space. I know that I do not need to avoid making others uncomfortable by playing small, right? Oftentimes we're really just doing a disservice. Unfortunately, with people that have this King of Wands energy, it can be really difficult if someone else is being confident, self-assured, having a certain amount of pride, like healthy pride in oneself, because they can take that as a challenge. That's just how fire energy is. King of Wands likes to be, alpha, so to speak. And maybe you have given them that in the past, but now it's time to celebrate yourself. And now it's time to receive something good, Aquarius. And I feel like you're really preparing for that. I feel like this week is setting the stage. Maybe there are some things that are hard to look at, but it looks like regardless, it is being shown to you so that you can make decisions that are more heart honoring, that actually allow your desires, your dreams to manifest. All right. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.